Hello and welcome to the transcription explanation of this design. It was done for a forearm tattoo, and it was done in kind of a different style than my normal, where I extend some of the stems of the words. It'll make more sense in practice. Anyway, let's go ahead and talk about this script. It's Loren Sherman's fan-made Gallifreyan script, which uses a combination of dots and lines on these 4 different stems to make our consonants. And these are the stems I was talking about my style extending. So, like this stem, the word circle might be back up here, and this stem might extend. So, in this style, this B stem can look like this, extending through the word circle here. So long as the circle is more than 50% completed, it is this stem. J stems are complete circles inside the word circle, like this, or this, or this, and this. And, T stems, they can do that extendy thing too, like here. We have an extended T stem here, and here, and here. And then the TH stems, which I don't think exist in this design. But yeah, they would be on the line of the word circle. Vowels are a bit trickier than consonants. They have smaller circles, and they are dependent upon if they're enclosed inside one of these 4 stems or not. So an E by itself would be on the line of the word circle, whereas if it were enclosed in one of these 4 stems, its position would change a bit. So let's go ahead and hop to this design. So the sentence structure is supposed to be bottom counterclockwise, but if you imagine an infinitely large circle, bottom counterclockwise would be left to right, because it would just be like an infinitely large circle. Anyway, so this is our leftmost circle, so this is our first word, and this thing here is actually just the lines on this stem. The first word is this thing in here. This is the word circle, and this is the first stem. It's a small circle, so it's a vowel. It's on the line of the word circle, so it's an E, I, or U, and it's got a line going towards the middle, so it is an I. The first word is an I. So this is our next word here, and this is the bottom of it. Here's the first stem. It is a circle inside the circle, so it's this row. And let's count up the lines that end on it. So this one passes through, so it doesn't count. But this one, and this one all end on it. So that's 3 lines, making that an M. Here we have a small circle, which is a vowel, enclosed inside the M, so it's right in the middle of the consonant stem, so it's again an E, I, or U, except it has a line going outwards, so that would make it a U. So M, U, continuing around. Here we have a shallow divot, so it's in this row, and it's got 1, 2, 3 lines on it, making it an S. And last but not least, we have this shallow divot as well, with nothing on it, which is a T. So must. Here's our next word. Here's the bottom of it. Here's the first stem we hit. It is a circle inside the circle, just like this one, except it's only got 1 line, so that is an N. And O is hanging on that end stem like a bead on a string. Even though this is more bottom counterclockwise, it's attached to the consonant, and you always read consonant vowel if they're attached. So this vowel is read second, and it's an O because it's like a bead on a string. Instead of being in the middle like an E, I, or U, it's like a bead on a string on the consonant. So that is an O. And then we have our last little T here, just like this little T. Yeah, there's a line going through around here, but that's just the line from the I, whatever. This is the T. So N-O-T, not. Here's our next word. And here is that extended B stem. So it is extended, but every line that still ends on it still counts. So even though this line is outside the word circle, it still ends on this stem. So it still counts. So 1, 2, 3. So that is an F with an E right in the middle of it, like that. Here's an A hanging outside the word circle. And then 1, 2, 3 dots closest to that R. So 3 dots on a T stem is an R. So fear. And here is a double line, just a double line going here and here, which is to indicate the word circle. So normally this would all be enclosed in a double circle, which would, not a word circle, a sentence circle. This would all be enclosed in a sentence circle if it were a circular design to put punctuation on it. But this double line here and here is just a spot to put punctuation. So this little open dot here is a period, yay, so I must not fear, period. Here's our next word. Here's the bottom of it. It's another omega stem or deep divot with 3 lines on it, because 1, 2, 3 lines are ending on this deep divot with an E right in the middle of it, like that. Continuing on, here's a shallow divot. It's extended just like this deep divot with 1, 2, 3 dots on it, so that is an R. So here's the F, E, continuing on, here's the A outside the word circle, which I realized I didn't talk about when I was going through, but it would be before the R because you get to it first and it's not enclosed within the R. Anyway, A, R. So fear. Here we have another I, a small circle line going towards the middle, and then we have an S, 1, 2, 3 lines on a shallow divot, just like this S. So fear is, here's our next word. It's got a really extended T stem, but it is, again, less than 50% completed, so it is just a T stem. Nothing ends on it, just stuff passes through it, but that's a T. Then we have this deep divot, just like this one, except it's only got 1, 2 lines on it, so that is an H. And then we have an E in the middle of it, so T-H-E, the. Here's our next word. Here we have a circle inside the circle, like this, with 1, 2, 3 lines on it, so that is an M. And then we have an I. This one is going more towards the middle than towards the outside. N-I, continuing on, here's another circle in the circle, except it's only got 1 line, so that's an N. And then we have this deep divot with 1, 2, 3 dots on it, making it a D. So M-I-N-D, mind. And then we have our last word. Here's the bottom of it. Here we have 2 dots closest to this stem. Even though this dot's kind of near it, it's closer to this R. So this is just 2 dots. We have a K. Another little I with its line kind of extending off here, disappearing into the distance. And then we have a double line on this stem. And a double line means it's a double letter. And since they're the same thickness, it's the same letter. So 1, 2, 3 dots on a circle inside the circle makes that a double L. And then we have an E on the line of the word circle. So word circle line, E's on the line of that. And then 1, 2, 3 dots are closer to this R than anything else. So 1, 2, 3 dots. R, so killer. I must not fear, period. Fear is the mind killer.